Since its foundation in 1963, the University of York has had a proud history of promoting inclusivity. By 1974, the university was home to students from 34 countries around the world. Currently, the University of York welcomes students and staff from over 150 different countries, including those where people may be fleeing persecution, where academics may be at risk, and those where human rights defenders face a number of dangers and challenges. The City of York became a City of Sanctuary in 2016, and in 2020 the University of York was awarded University of Sanctuary status, joining 21 other higher education institutions across the UK in the Universities of Sanctuary network. An important factor which led to the award of University of Sanctuary status is the provision of over 20 equal access scholarships and bursaries for those from refugee and migrant backgrounds since the scheme was launched in 2016. The Vice-Chancellor of the University of York is Professor Charlie Jeffrey.
Becoming a University of Sanctuary is really important for this university. Yeah, we had a really inspirational set of founders, and one of the things that they said has really stuck in my mind, and that's that we are here to do things which contribute to the amelioration of human life and conditions. Now, I think becoming a University of Sanctuary, thinking about how we can support students from asylum-seeking or refugee backgrounds, thinking about how we can offer opportunities for the development of human rights defenders from around the world, thinking about how we can support academics who've had to flee their home countries, seems to me to be exactly in line with that sense of ameliorating human life and conditions, understanding the things that have caused disruption, upheaval, people to flee their homes, and working with those people to give them opportunities, but also to understand the problems that have caused their flight in the first place, and be able to apply our expertise to trying to do something about it.
Another key factor in the award of University of Sanctuary status has been the long tradition of student and staff volunteering, which has helped to create a culture of welcome on campus, in the City of York and in the wider Yorkshire region. Student Action for Refugees, or STAR, has been closely involved in building links between students and the local refugee community, working through local charities such as Refugee Action York. RAY. Sarah Hutchinson is Youth and Children's Coordinator for RAY.
I really love the job that I do. I really love supporting the refugee families and young people and working in the community and supporting the work that RAY does. I studied at the University of York as a mature student. I completed a Masters in International Relations, and my graduate studies shaped my involvement with RAY in two ways, really. Firstly, I worked as an intern supporting one of the professors, campaigning and advocating for the rights and settlement of former Afghan interpreters who've been working with Western forces over the last 20 years. And secondly, I took the politics of migration module as part of my course. And both of these experiences kind of opened my eyes to the issues that are facing refugees, migrants and asylum seekers, and really got me interested in the circumstances that they face and what they've had to go through. We are really fortunate that we have a lot of wonderful student volunteers from the University of York who support in lots of different ways, and they manage to juggle their university studies, their part-time jobs and their leisure time, and also give their time as volunteers to RAY. And the university students are great as volunteers because they're young and enthusiastic, and also because they're really energetic and bring a lot of flexibility to the volunteering team. And also we found that they've been excellent role models for the RAY young people, really encouraging them to aim high and make the most of every opportunity that's been given to them.
Martha is the president of York STAR.
I'm Martha. I'm in first year studying politics, philosophy and economics, and I'm president of STAR, Student Action for Refugees. It is a nationwide organisation that focuses on creating a welcoming environment for refugees through students at university in the UK. It's spread across a lot of different cities in the UK, and it has a focus especially on volunteering, campaigning and fundraising. So trying to kind of incorporate those things into universities and get students involved. We've made this banner today of Refugees Welcome for Refugee Week, using lots of different colours and handprints, kind of emphasising this idea of togetherness. At the University of York, kind of the culture of supporting refugees and volunteering is a huge factor of why we've become the University of Sanctuary. I'm really looking forward to the next few years of STAR and the university working together to raise awareness and support refugees.
Four Corners is a youth club that provides activities for secondary school aged children, and we meet weekly. It's aimed at increasing confidence, developing skills, giving the young people a safe space to meet, and also encouraging dual national identity as well. And the activities that we run could be anything from arts and crafts to discussion groups, or we have speakers of interest who come in and speak to the young people. But one of the main activities that we do that the young people love is sports sessions. We do have a group of young people who come together regularly to play football, and they love it, and it really creates a sense of community that they can all come together from all the different areas in York that they live and play this sport together that they all enjoy.
Hello, my name is Obade. I've been with Ray for 3 years. Yeah, I enjoy to do the activities, like to see my friends.
Hi, my name is Ahmed. I've been coming to the Ray now for 2 years. I enjoy playing football. Before Corona, we played like once or twice a week.
Hi, my name is Mohammed, and I really enjoy the weekly sport sessions that we do, and every year we go to the seaside and just have fun activities, and it's a nice thing to do every year.
Hello, my name is Abdul Karim. I've been with Ray for around 3 years, and we've done lots of activities together, like clubs, playing football and playing lots of games. I really enjoy everything they've done for me and always for me in it, like emotionally, physically, mentally.
My name is Abdu. I'm enjoying Ray now for 3 years and a half. I'm volunteering at Ray, and it's very good people actually as well. Like my second family. If I need anything, I need any help, any problem, go speak to Sarah, speak to John, speak anybody in the Ray.
As important in making the University of York a place of sanctuary is the existence of the Centre for Applied Human Rights, CARA, and its Protective Fellowship Scheme for Human Rights Defenders. The Protective Fellowship Coordinator is Sanna Eriksson.
My name is Sanna Eriksson. I work as the Protective Fellowship Coordinator at the Centre for Applied Human Rights. I've been here since 2011. One of the main reasons for a Protective Fellowship Scheme is the protection of the human rights defenders. So the idea is that the defenders are able to spend some time out of a very difficult or even dangerous situation, so that they are able to re-energize and recharge and rethink how they want to do their work going forward. We also try to support their mental well-being while they are here with us through different activities, and our research in recent years has focused on human rights defender well-being to a great extent.
CAR's director is Professor Paul Grady.
I think the Protective Fellowship Scheme has played an enormously important role in creating a culture of inclusivity for our centre, for the university and within the city. It's one of the very few schemes that's completely open in terms of who can apply, so in terms of where they've come in the world, the kinds of issues they work on, their faith, their ethnicity, their age. There's a huge variety in the 100 or so people that we've hosted. And that diversity has then sort of worked through the kinds of work that they've done within the centre and within the city. So they've engaged with our students and with students more generally on campus, sharing their experiences and knowledge. And similarly, they've been very active in the city. Most of them really want to talk about their work and their experiences, so they give public addresses, they do work in schools, they link up with civil society groups in the city. And York is not the most multicultural city in the world, and so to have this group of people who are so international and so dynamic and engaged, I think has made a real contribution. We were thrilled that York decided to embark on this journey to become a university of sanctuary. It's enormously significant for us in a couple of ways. I think it's important because it links together things happening in the university. The university has, over a number of years, been doing lots of good work in this area, but it's not been connected. And I think it helps connect work on, say, refugees with our human rights defender work in ways that will add value. A declaration like this, it's a declaration of intent. It's not an announcement that the university has arrived, that we are the perfect sanctuary university. But a declaration can be used as a trigger for action, to do other things. And I think, my sense is the university's been serious about that they have used it as a declaration of intent. And on the back of the declaration, a whole series of actions have been taken within the university. The idea of sanctuary and safety and protection is about preparing, and it could be students, it could be defenders on our scheme, it could be refugees, giving them that space to reflect, to develop skills, to acquire knowledge that equips them then to engage with the world in an active and more energized and more effective way than perhaps they would have been able to do otherwise. David Cato came to York as a fellow in 2010, and he was with us for 6 months. An incredibly brave activist. He'd worked as a teacher for many years in Uganda, had gone to South Africa around the time of the transition to democracy there, had felt empowered really by a lot of the LGBT plus activism in South Africa, and had gone back, had come out, had become very active at a time when there were very few publicly active LGBT activists in Uganda, and faced a lot of hostility and criticism. There was a piece of legislation being proposed called the Anti-Homosexuality Act that he fought along with others incredibly bravely and faced a lot of hostility. So he came to us in the midst of that for 6 months, and I think found it, as our fellowship often is for people like David, he's very typical in this sense, a place of refuge, a place of sanctuary, a place where he could sort of gather himself, but very much in the model that I've just described of sanctuary preparing him to go back and to be more active, to keep doing the work he was doing. So he did that. Tragically, on his return, his name appeared on the front page of a newspaper. Essentially, he was outed, and following that, there was an attack on him where he died. So obviously, it's a very tragic story of the kinds of things that can befall activists because of the work that they do. And I think for us to name a college after him is a very fitting way of honouring his memory.
The University of York's migration network, MIGNET, brings together staff, research students and voluntary organisations with the aim of improving our knowledge in the area of forced migration and human rights. Part of MIGNET's brief is to make its research relevant to the needs of refugees and asylum seekers in the UK and overseas. Its co-chair is Dr. Sarah de Jong.
I was also starting some research on Doncaster, and then Mel told me that she had been to Doncaster and had visited Doncaster Conversation Club, which is a charity NGO supporting refugees and asylum seekers. And because I was looking for people who were part of kind of community initiative, civil society in Doncaster, I was like, oh, can you put me in touch with someone just that I have a way in, because migration has always been one of my research topics. So also with this project, I wanted to see what work was being done on migration. So then finally one day, just before Doncaster was put in tier 3 again with COVID, we were still able to go to Doncaster, and I met Firas there, who Mel had been in touch with because she had been visiting Doncaster as part of her studies, got to know him. So Firas was my kind of guide in Doncaster. It was my first time there, and he took me around.
So my name is Firas Shehi. I live in Sheffield. I'm originally from Tunisia. I recently applied to study in York, so hopefully I'll be moving here by the end of the summer to start my degree in marketing with a year in the industry. I was volunteering in DCC, it's Doncaster Conversation Club, so it's a charity for refugees and asylum seekers, and I was there helping with some translation and helping anyone who needs anything in Arabic and translate it to English, basically. And Mel came along one day and we just met and We quickly became friends, and then she introduced me to Sarah. That's how we all met.
So we were actually both made to do this dancing exercise and we were both terrible at it, and that's how we made friends. So Firas was a volunteer and also seeking asylum at the time, and we just got chatting basically, and he said, oh, I've been to York before, I might want to visit again. So we got chatting, we added each other on Instagram, and we've been good friends. We meet up for food, and yeah, he won't cook.
Basically, I wanted to go to university since last year, but to be honest, I had no clue how to apply for it. What test should I take to be able to to get into university here. So I missed my chance last year, but this year Mel helped me to apply through UCAS and to find the right course for me that I wanted to study.
The ways I was able to help Firas applying to university and come, the first thing was I wanted to know which university to go to. So obviously, you know, I'd only been in this country for a short amount of time, I wasn't sure the best places to go to study different subjects, and because I'd been to York, I mentioned York and a number of other universities. There was also a language exam that you had to do that you also needed some, you know, support with, looking at how to get here, but also the city in general. I mean, moving to a new city is daunting for everybody, but you know, we didn't really know anybody else in the country either. We walked around the city a couple of times, made sure that you felt comfortable. York is not a very diverse place, and you know, also being, you know, mixed race, he did ask me, you know, how do you deal with that? How do you find it? So I think it's the honesty really that's what he thanks me for a lot, is the fact that I'm really honest about my experience with, you know, the university becoming a university of sanctuary. That's so important. The United Kingdom should be a place of sanctuary, and that should go for all of the institutions. So for me, it's so important that universities are accessible, but also they raise awareness of, you know, the different students that come here with different backgrounds, so that we're all aware. I feel like we do have to be aware of what our peers, our colleagues and other people are going through, so that it's a good place for us all to learn, develop and teach. How boring would it be if it was the same type of people here?
The quality of education in here is quite good, and I'm really excited to get, you know, just to get to know the city more, and to make more connections in the university, and just to have the full experience that every student wants.
Some of the things we need to do as a university are very subtle and kind of really need to be tailor-made, really need to respond to the emerging needs that somebody confronts us with, that some of us might not even think about initially. Refugees shouldn't just be welcomed because they're refugees, but just because they're any kind of people. You know, they shouldn't be given the burden to bring anything special or to enrich the university, because every single person, you know, enriches the university in their own way.
People seeking sanctuary should be able to, like people who come, you know, who are born here, you know, go to university, have the same experiences, be able to access it. Those are the sorts of things that I want to happen here, so that everybody can have a similar good experience.
It is important to me, because if it was not a university of sanctuary, I wouldn't know how to apply in here. I got the help to apply for the university, for the course and for the accommodation, and I've got many people helping me around, because I have no idea how to get through. You know, I didn't know how to apply for any of this, to secure a place in the course or to get a place in the accommodation. York being a university of sanctuary means that they give help for people like me, for refugees, asylum seekers, and whoever is in need for that. There is a lot of asylum seekers and refugees who want to study, and they have no idea how to apply for it, because it's quite complicated, to be honest. As a university of sanctuary, it would be really helpful to show these people around how to get in. For someone who came new to this country and who I don't have anyone around to help me or to show me the way, that was quite tough, to be honest, to find. But thankfully I've got Mel and Sarah who showed me around, so that was a big help for me.
The university's long association with the Council for Academics at Risk, known as CARA, highlights its commitment to supporting researchers who are prevented from working as academics in their own countries. The contribution of CARA Fellows to the life of the university and the city has been enormously enriching for everyone involved. Professor Robin Perrotts has had an association with CARA for many years.
I'm Robin Perrotts. I'm from the University of York. I'm a chemist and now Emeritus Professor of Chemistry. I first became involved in CARA when they contacted me to say, we've got a chemist from Aleppo who wants to come and work with you, and we would provide the fellowship for 2 years. In fact, I knew what CARA did as an organisation, so I followed up and managed to talk to Husni, his name, then on the phone to Aleppo, and I had a colleague who spoke Arabic, so he spoke directly in Arabic, and that helped too to establish that this was viable. I was rather skeptical at first because I thought, oh, he'll never get a visa, but he did, and he came, and family came too. Personally, yes, I'm really pleased that they have become a University of Sanctuary, and that the city is too. And this is a welcome sign of displaced people who want to come here and know that we will do our best to support them. And I think there was no better example than when this Syrian, Husni, arrived in York. He got amazing support from our Deputy Vice-Chancellor, who was then the CARA representative for the university, and she was wonderful, but also from the city. There were a number of people in different parts who helped, particularly with making sure that the children got into the right school, and the school itself was wonderful. So yeah, it takes a lot of different people to support a family like that and really make a go of it.
Saeed Akkad is currently a CARA Fellow in the Department of Chemistry.
I graduated from pharmacy school in 2007. Then I came here after a few things of like doing postgraduate degree and a little bit of private practice. I came here in 2016 to do my PhD at the University of Kent by the help of CARA, or the Council for At-Risk Academics. And then after that, after finishing it, I came here last November 2020 to do a postdoc at the University of York in Martin Fassion's lab in the chemistry department. The things that I got to work with and research about in York were a little bit different from what I did in the University of Kent. And I've only been here for about 6 months now, but the amount of experience that I've gained, an amount of knowledge that I've acquired here, and the different experiences and different skills that I've learned in this short period of time, they've boosted not only my confidence in myself, but also my outlook to any future career I might have as well.
Achieving University of Sanctuary status is an important milestone in the University of York's journey to becoming a university for all. But there is more to do. The University of York's Office of Philanthropic Partnerships and Alumni, OPPA, works with its alumni and friends to support projects like the Equal Access Scholarship Scheme. OPPA's Head of Individual Philanthropy is Sarah Disney.
We'd love to be able to develop the Equal Access Scholarship even further and build on those achievements of supporting the scholars as we have over the last 5 years. We have a very generous community of donors who support our scholars, but we really need more funds to be able to do that. We'd love to be able to grow that programme of scholarships, to be able to add to it. We currently fund 2 undergraduates and 1 master's student each year. And we've also been able to support the CARA Academic Fellowship as well, so occasionally offering funds to support fellows like Saeed to spend his time researching here at York.
Together as a community, we plan to increase the number of equal access scholarships and bursaries that we offer, so that more asylum seekers will be able to realise their right to higher education. But because all of our equal access scholarships and bursaries are funded through voluntary donations, we need your help to achieve this goal. Please consider donating via our York Unlimited page, or search Equal Access Scholarships York if you would like to apply. Your contribution has the potential to be literally life-transforming.